So Duke and I love Spanish Paradors, and we thought it'd be fun to tell you why, to tell you a little bit about them and everything. So maybe we should start out with what we should call them. Paradors is what you say in English, and Spanish.
That's what you gringos say. Yeah.
And Spanish, how do you pronounce it?
Paradores.
Okay, so we'll probably say both.
Yeah, I used to say both. I mean, I don't keep it straight. I mean, I just
Right.
whatever comes out
Yep.
comes out.
So
I think it's kind of weird, almost. I mean, it is kind of weird that we love a hotel chain.
right, because there's no other hotel chain that we're particularly loyal to.
Who says they love? I mean, they might like, but, have a preference for. But we really, truly have found that we really like it.
Well, I say we love
Paradores.
Paradors.
Yes, we do, and I think we're qualified to talk about them.
Explain why.
Well, there are 98 Paradores. There's plans for 3 more. Mm-hmm. But right now, and I think for a while, every once in a while they close one. They have a new one like a year ago that they opened. But I believe the current number is 98. And I believe we've been to 86 of them. Let me double check that on the spreadsheet.
And we've made 9 trips to Europe since 2016 together. So all of that is in those years since 2016, right?
Right. Yes, we've gone to Spain once a year for 8 straight years. Mm-hmm. Sometimes we were only in Spain a few days on a long trip, but one reason was, it was a good place to fly to. Mm-hmm. You get good fares to Barcelona for a long time. That's not necessarily true now. So, but we like to at least include some of Spain in our trips of Europe.
Yes, definitely. So we've been to how many?
86.
And how many nights have we spent in Paradors?
We've spent a total of 117.
Wow. Who would have thought?
Yeah, together, the 2 of us. Now, I've been there.
Once without me.
Yeah, I've got 118, and together we have 117. There's one Parador stay.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Without you.
So why don't you start out with
What they are?
what they are? Yes.
Well, they're government-owned hotels. They're run. Well, I believe the enterprise, the Paradores, is run under the Department of Tourism. Mm-hmm. And then there's some other Department of Antiquities or Archaeological Preservation or whatever, separate government entities that does a lot in restoring historical spots and then turning them over to being run as hotels. And I don't know of any other country that.
They
equivalent.
They're located either in historic buildings or in beautiful natural areas, right?
Or urban is what they say, but
Important urban areas where they think they want to promote tourism.
Yeah.
Okay. And there are none.
But it's some of these. Okay, it's an urban Parador, but it's still, it can be a historical. But their definition of historical and our definition of historical is quite different.
Right.
It could be in the harbor where the harbor master, used to reside, and it was only built, 150 years ago or 200 years ago. And to them, that's really not that very old. If it's not 400 or 500 years old, it's not.
So they
historical.
They put them in either those categories. They never put them in places where they'll compete with a lot of other hotels, right?
Well, apparently, because there are none in Madrid, none in Barcelona, none in the Balearic Islands.
None up in Donostia sounds. Oh, I guess maybe there is one up there. Yeah. Anyway, the big places doesn't have them.
Should I get my map out?
Yes.
Okay. This is the map of the Paradores, and I mean, you can kind of see that there's a lots in the northwest, a lot across the north, a lot in the west, but there's not a lot, and across all the way across the
Right.
Pyrenees, but there's not a lot down in this area.
Right, and along like the Costa del Sol, there's hardly any down there.
There's none out on these islands.
Right.
But there are 5 down in the Canary Islands.
Right, so there's places where they don't need to promote tourism, they don't have them.
And there's 2 in Africa.
Okay, that's weird.
Still part of Spain, but
Right, right. Okay. So, let's see.
and one other thing about probably why we like them so much is because of the it's very unique to Americans. It wouldn't be true for if you were French, you wouldn't need to go to a Parador to stay in a castle.
No,
If you were German, you wouldn't need to go to find a castle. You wouldn't need to go to find, a really dependable 4-course restaurant, or,
right, right.
4-course meal at a really nice restaurant. I mean, but to us, that just all adds to it.
Right. On top of which, they've turned out to be a great way to see Spain because we go to all these places that we probably wouldn't go to anyway, and we've always had fun.
Right.
We haven't really had a bad experience at any of them. So
No, they vary in their. I mean, they have different levels. 3-star, 4-star, I don't know, 5-star
Right,
maybe.
right.
But to us, they're all good.
Yeah.
Some better than others. But
so later in this video, we've picked our top 6. We managed to agree on our top 6. We're going to talk about those. But why don't you talk a little bit about the loyalty program and the prices, how much they cost?
you know what? I don't have that sheet. I can talk about the loyalty program. But I
Okay.
have to go get the price thing.
Okay, well, we can take a break.
Take a break now, or
No, talk about
Okay.
talk about
the loyalty program. So their loyalty program is called Amigos. So if you're going to stay at a Parador, use Parador. You do want to sign up for the Amigo program, and there's for just signing up you get. What are the benefits?
I think you get a free breakfast. And,
Well, you get one free breakfast for signing up.
and then you get a discount
You
automatically,
get a discount.
don't you?
Well, like right now, there's hardly any specials, but there's always, you get a 5% discount
If you're a member of the Amigos
if you're a
program.
member. You also get points. And I think I figure the points are worth about 7.5% to 8%. It's really, there's some variables. I mean,
So after a certain amount of money, you get a free room, basically. Is that
right,
Okay.
exactly.
And then and then if you spend enough money every year, you get different levels in the program, right?
There are 3 levels. There's just the Amigos, then there's the Gold, and then there's the Circular or Circle. And you've got to spend quite a bit of money, time to get to that top level.
But when when you were booking rooms with friends that we were traveling with,
Right.
and we were
When there
going,
were 2 rooms, and of course, all of the points went to me. I mean, I passed some of those savings on to my fellow travelers, but it got us to the top level for a little while. Now we're back to Gold.
right?
But boy, was it nice when we were at the top level.
Yeah, we'd have champagne or something, and a gift in the room, and a treat in the room when we arrived, and
Right.
we even had the manager come out and welcome Duke personally one time. And,
I think free breakfast, wasn't it?
oh yeah, free
all the
free
breakfast-
parking, free
breakfast.
They don't all charge for parking, but
Yeah,
some
like
do.
1 out of 5, but
Yeah,
still, it's it was
Right.
nice.
and then talk a little bit about seasons. Actually, let's stop now, and you can go get the spreadsheet. Talk about pricing and seasons with that. Okay.
Okay. I'll be
Okay.
right back.
Okay, we're back.
Yes.
So let's talk about pricing.
Well, first of all, there are different levels of rooms. There's always the standard room, and that's usually the superior room. Then the junior suite sometimes, and the suite. Not all of them have this. Some of them just have two room types of rooms. Some of them have 4 or 5. And, and you can get a pretty good idea. And well, I should say sometimes the price varies very little,
Right.
and other times it's a lot. So there's no magic formula, and it's a little because of they just got a new website within the last year. Seeing the rooms is it's a little stupid, really, but if you first go and look at prices for different classes of room, then you can't see the photos. There's just one photo there of each type of room. But before you go to the pricing, you're on the first page and there's talk about different things. You look at rooms, then they have multiple photos of each type of room.
Whatever.
Anyway. So like, I was just looking at one here. So like the standard room is 122 euros. What's that, about $135. Superior is about 30 euros more. And then the suite is almost double the price of the standard room on that one. So, it can be.
And then sometimes you get when they do have specials, sometimes it'll include meals.
Well, I should talk about specials because I just looked and there's hardly any specials. If you stay 2 nights at the same.
This is right now in the summer of 2023.
15% off. For being an Amigo, you get 5% off. If you stay 3 nights, you get a total of 20% off your entire bill. But there's not really much. But they're pretty predictable. That there's always in November a Black Friday sale. There's always a Valentine's, which is the whole month of February if you're booking in February. I don't know. They have and then there's some that close during the winter.
And sometimes they have senior specials too, don't they?
Yeah. Let me finish though.
Okay.
What was I saying?
Some of them close during the winter.
Yeah, and then they have a special when they open back up,
Oh, okay.
And then they have a senior discount. That's 55 and over. And that deal includes breakfast for just slightly more than the regular standard rate. And they have the young people's under 30 deal often. If you're between 30 and 55, you're just out of luck. Forget it. Doesn't bother me.
And so our experience with them has mainly been in the off season because we don't travel in June, July, August outside the United States really. We almost always travel in the off season, which means everything we say about it, like we can't review the swimming pools because they're either closed or it's too cold anyway to swim.
We're usually there February, March.
Yeah.
Mostly February, March, maybe a little April.
Yeah.
But the high and low season is not uniform across all of them either.
Pricing varies by high and low season.
Well, when is the high season? Depends on, in the center, where in July and August it's unbearably hot. That's not the high season.
Right.
The high season would be before and after that, right after that. But if you're on the, southern coast or someplace where you're getting that cool ocean breeze, then July and August are the high season.
Right.
So.
Okay. Let's see. Is there anything else we want to say in an introductory sense here? The restaurants in general.
Well, maybe I should just talk about prices in general.
Yes.
So I looked up a few. Well, I don't want to give the names because
anyway, you looked up.
These are our top
That's okay.
6. We haven't revealed what our.
Well, that's okay. You can still talk about the prices.
I'll just say Parador A standard room is 122.
Uh-huh.
This is in March. And then the next one is 200. The next one is 246. The next one is 266, and the next one is 152. Those are all refundable with breakfast. So they'd have a non-refundable rate that's quite a bit cheaper, and then you can get it without breakfast too.
Right.
But the breakfasts are
Worth doing.
they're really good. Yeah. So.
And we, they have their main restaurant, which usually opens at the earliest 8:30, maybe 9, and it's a multi-course fancy dinner. And then almost all of them have a bar with a bar menu that if you don't want to have a big fancy meal, you can eat there too. So.
Right, and for
And a lot of them you want to go out into the town and eat too. So yeah.
right. As Americans, most of the Americans that we've traveled with find it difficult to adapt
To eating at 9 o'clock.
eating at 9 o'clock. Most of them now, I think all of the Parador is open at 8:30 now, rather than 9. But if you're there at 8:30, the people that are made the reservation for 8:30, there are no Spanish people there.
Right.
It's the
The Americans.
Americans, great Canadians,
Right.
you know.
Right.
The French are kind of halfway in between, but.
Okay. Well, we could probably talk about other things.
And we don't really we love the restaurants, but you know, if we're staying at a Parador, you know, every night for 7 nights, we're not going to want to eat every night at the Parador.
Especially when we have what they call half board, where we have breakfast and dinner, because then we get the dinner they include will be like a 3-course dinner or 4-course dinner.
Yeah.
And so then you feel like you do have to order an appetizer and a main course and dessert.
It's usually a 2-hour dinner.
Yeah.
So for Americans, that's a little, it's a little unusual, not easily. We've adapted, but.
Yeah, but we also, there's certain, anyway, they try to have regional food that matches the region.
Yeah, they have a great menu.
Yeah.
I mean, they have kind of a standardized menu, and then they have also
regional menu.
Every one of them has some regional dishes.
Yep, they're just great. They're fun, and the places we've been, because we're in Paradors, is great. So should we break here and then reveal our top 6 and talk about them?
Okay.